What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is TishaTheBrave. Hope you guys are doing well, hope you guys are doing okay. Today I'm here to talk about the life path 11. Before we get into the video, I just want to let you guys know I have a Patreon account which you can support me on, and if you support me on there you'll get the moon cycle forecast and the numerology forecast for the week. So definitely check out patreon.com/TishaTheBrave if you are interested in doing that. Okay, so let's get into the video. The life path 11, there's a lot to get through. First of all, if you're a life path 11, you have to understand that you are a very special life path because you happen to be a master number. A master number is basically a number that has double the same digits, so like 11, 22, 33, 45, etc, etc. Those are master numbers. Basically a master number is some sort of extra presence in the world, right? It's like all the numbers have these things that they're supposed to be doing and stuff like that, but like you guys have an extra presence in the world. You have some sort of like duty that is a little bit special compared to everybody else, okay? Now, it doesn't mean that you have to act like a prick, okay? It doesn't mean that you have to have an ego about this. Everybody has their place in the world. So just, you know, take that with a grain of salt or whatever, okay? Your main purpose is to use your creativity, your intuition, and your spiritual gifts, and your sense of service to help heal humanity. So one of the things you have to understand is that your creative outlet helps heal people in ways that you won't even understand, okay? So this is why sometimes you might attract relationships very easily, platonic or romantically speaking, purely because your presence is something that is felt quite easily. So you're one of those people where as soon as you walk into the room, like you're the catalyst that kind of changes the mood, and you don't even realize it, but you're kind of like a person that kind of like shifts the room because of your aura itself. It is something that people notice. It is something that people gravitate towards. And what you don't realize is a lot of people probably just go to you for like help, and you're wondering why, but it's because they can trust you straight away. They can give you tasks, and for some reason you're just so good at doing it, and like they just look at you and they're just like, wow, this person, I don't know, there's something about this person. And you just have that presence that you don't really understand, right? And if we remind ourselves of what like the 11 is, like numerology wise, like everything is individual. So this gives you more clues into your role, right? So 11 is made up of 2 ones, right? So 1 is the number of the fearless leader, the person that kind of like goes for their goals, go for their dreams. And then you have 2, and 2 is about balance and harmony, okay? So think of yourself almost about as like a spiritual leader. Think of yourself as a spiritual leader, because that is essentially what you're here to do. And actually your nickname is the inspired healer, the inspired healer. So this makes a lot of sense here, you know. You are supposed to be inspired to help heal people, but you're supposed to do this fearlessly and kind of like take the reins on it. So a lot of people in this position tend to be like shamans and like, you know, people who delve into like the spiritual unknown, you know, and stuff like that. You know, you're really of service as this person. And not to say that you can't be anything else, you know, just saying. So oftentimes you don't even like realize how bright and how bold your energy is. Your presence alone is something that people can often feel. So when you're doing anything creative, people can still hear, people can still feel that. So let's say for example you are a painter, okay? If you were to paint a picture, for some reason your energy in that in what you were doing can resonate with people throughout time, and they could like, you know, purchase that painting and be like, something within me was moved, like, you know, when I looked at this. And the same thing goes for any creative endeavor that you do, whether that is storytelling, whether that is you know, you being of service to another person, you know, like for example a carer or anything like that. Anything that you do, creative or otherwise, whether it's of service or whether it's creative, for some reason people look at your work and they're like wowed or blown away by what you do. And it doesn't matter if you feel like this is not helping people. For example, a lot of people who are like in the arts, like dance, or for example, they feel like is my dance actually moving people, or is it just me enjoying myself? And no, what you're doing, like your dance can be like an inspiration to somebody, and then they will in turn want to be a dancer. And like people are literally healed by what you do. And this is something you have to understand, because I feel like actually just knowing your life path, that you feel like you're not good enough. But that's something that we're going to get into a little bit later on. But I'm just telling you, this is something that you have to understand. Whatever it is that you're doing, it is healing, whether you know it or not. So oftentimes you find it hard to actually sit still and relax sometimes. And I actually want to point out here that the two life path 11s that I personally know both have Capricorn and Aries in their top 3, okay? So astrologically speaking, what is that combination? Capricorn, which governs reputation and fame. Then we have Aries that governs passion and energy. Okay, so you combine those two things together, that is somebody who is very passionate and hardworking, and they're not able to sit still because they always continuously feel like they always have to do something, because they feel like they need to be bigger and better, which can cause a lot of anxiety, because you feel like you have to be bigger and better than what people expect from you, which is ridiculous. You're expecting too much. It's not that people expect that much of you, it's you. You're pressuring yourself a lot just because you have this energy that is like, I need to do something, I need to do something, I need to do something. There are moments where you need to just sit down and relax, okay? And there are moments when your energy is not required. Just because you are this person that is a spiritual being, that is a person that has healing energy, it doesn't mean you have to do this 24/7. And I need you to wrap your head around that. Okay, so the attitude you have to adopt is quite simple. Whatever creative endeavor you love, or service that you love doing for other people, keep working at it and put yourself out there, because what you're doing for other people is actually healing, okay? So I don't care if it means that you're flipping painting, graffitiing up the street, okay? If it's something that you feel within you that you have to do, or something within you that you do naturally, whether that is helping people or creating things or whatever it is that you're doing, make sure that you put love, care and attention and detail into that. So because what you don't realize is that the impact you have on other people is amazing. I want to quickly just shout out my sister-in-law, who is also a life path 11, and at Christmas I find that she does these things that are really special and intricate. She she always has a gift bag, and she puts, like last year she put our names on it, and she actually decorated the gift bag and everything like that. That's something that I still think was really meaningful, really nice, because she took her time to do something creative and lovely, and I find that impactful on me, because I'm very appreciative of gifts, and I'm appreciative of people's times. I'm understanding of people's times, and you know, that is something that I find really lovely and really endearing. And so just understand that any little thing, any tiny little thing that you do is very appreciated, and I need you to know that, because you need to appreciate yourself. I'm gonna keep saying this. This is a thing. This is a thing, life path 11. Speaking of trying to you know, big up yourself, we're gonna go into struggles and solutions, okay? Oh no! So you may suffer with a lot of anxiety because you feel like life should be bigger and better for you, but you struggle with your purpose a lot. You tend to think that you're not in the place that you are meant to be. And so you have to remind yourself that life is actually long. You have time. You have all the time that the divine has given you to be exactly who you are supposed to be, and to shine exactly the way you are supposed to shine. You have to remind yourself that other people actually feel what you give to them. Actually, people are actually grateful for what you give to them, even if they don't outwardly say it, because I know you want that confirmation. But you don't need other people to confirm you. You don't need other people to confirm you. You don't. You need to confirm yourself. You need to remember how good you are and what you bring to the table. So one of the things you really need to work on is your solar plexus chakra. So this is your confidence. Your confidence needs work. So it's as simple as saying affirmations, you know, every day. So the first thing you can say to yourself is, I am calm, I am confident, and I'm powerful, and I am motivated to pursue my purpose. Those are things that you can start saying to yourself. Also, because this is the yellow chakra, it's also as easy as eating yellow natural foods. It's as easy as meditating with yellow crystals. It's as easy as you know, playing music in the key of E. And I say that because, you know, that chakra is related to that. If you can't play an instrument, it's as simple as just putting on meditation music for solar plexus chakra, because also people are understanding of that, and they will probably have it in the key of E as well. You should check out my video that I made and it will give you a bit more insight on chakras and music. So you may struggle also in relationships because you have such a healing energy that people literally quite suck you dry, like for real. And it's unequal and it's unhealthy. So growing up, you may have struggled in your family life because look, the divine sets it up like that. Okay, you have to learn through relationships to understand yourself. You do. So a lot of life path 11s are just people who grow up in families that are difficult, grow up in places where they feel like they have to defend themselves, grow up in places where they're just like, everything is kind of against me, and then they end up with like panic attacks or anxiety attacks. Listen, this is a difficult placement for you to be in. You're gonna learn through relationships a lot because you're the elevation of the 2. So remember, you're an 11, which means 1 + 1 = 2. So that also means that being like 2 is about balance and harmony and relationships. When you're a 2, a life path 2, not an 11, when you're a 2, you're a person that kind of clings to relationships a lot. Now, an 11 is always learning through relationships like the 2, but you also have to find your way through these relationships because you have to understand who you are in a relationship. You cannot dim your own light, particularly if you're an 11. I mean, yes, if you're a 2 too, but like, listen, when you're an 11, you cannot dim your light. You cannot dim your light because you are born for a completely different purpose. While the 2 is born to kind of like help other people and be in the background, the 11 is supposed to be in the limelight and help everybody else as well. But not in the background, in the limelight. So you cannot dim yourself in any type of relationship, and if anybody has made you dim your light, then you are not supposed to be with that person, friendship or otherwise, family wise, it doesn't matter. But this is why you're learning through relationships, because it's set up in that way so that you can understand who you are, right? And you can't understand who you are if you don't have these conflicts. So you have to remind yourself that your energy is sacred. And so one of the ways that you can really help yourself is by working on your throat chakra and working on your sacral chakra. Now, I want to remind you that these 2 are the only physical chakras that we have. So what does that mean? Okay, your physical energy is exhausted, which means that you have to protect it spiritually. Okay, so you need to work on the throat and the sacral chakra. So when we work on the throat chakra, this is what we can say to ourselves. I speak truth lovingly. I pause, I speak, I heal. I uplift myself and others through honest communication. Why am I emphasizing the throat chakra? Because again, you're defending yourself a lot to people that don't even see you in the way that you're supposed to be seen. You're defending yourself a lot because sometimes you have an ego. Let's be real. Sometimes you believe that what you're saying is right as well. So you also need to be in the spirit of listening. When you work on the throat, you realize the balance between speaking and listening. And so you also have to learn to listen because there's a part of you that doesn't want to listen either. You need to mind your ego. I'm telling you that for real. You need to mind your ego. And then when you work on the sacral is like this. I attract people who treat me with respect. Pleasure always finds me. I embrace my creativity and my sensuality. There's a part of you that may have had like some sort of sexual shame as well, or some sexual trauma, especially with these 2 chakras. If you need to work on these, a lot of these people with placements have either been sexually abused as children or molested, or just you know, it's sometimes people have gone through these horrible things, and in turn that really fucks up your chakras a little bit. So you need to come to a point of trying to heal yourself, because what you don't want is for your biography to be your biology. Okay, so your story doesn't have to be in your body. It doesn't have to portray yourself in your body. And then don't get defensive over people who are not doing nothing to you in that respect. And I know, because I've been through first-hand trauma in regards to sexual abuse, so I know. And at one point my biography was my biology, and I'm not claiming that no more. I've worked a lot on helping myself with these placements. So when it comes to these chakras, you know, those are the affirmations you can say. But for throat in particular, wearing blue, eating naturally blue foods, which is kind of hard to find. So I would say blue spirulina and blueberries. You know, there's not much else you can really do. I don't know if there's any naturally blue foods out there, let me know. And then you know, blue crystals, throat chakra meditations that you can find on YouTube. And then you know, just speaking during meditation, whatever comes to mind, just speak it or sing it, some sort of communication. but outwardly speaking, okay? And then when it comes to sacral, it is orange, wearing orange and eating orange foods, and you know, orange crystals, meditating with orange crystals, and of course meditating with sacral chakra sounds, okay? So just remember that this is how you can spiritually protect yourself, by working on these placements. So the bottom line in general is that you are to use your creativity, your intuition, your spiritual gifts, and your sense of service to others to help heal humanity. And eventually what you will realize is that when you spiritually protect yourself, you will understand how to bring out your gifts. You will understand who to talk to and who to listen to, who to help and who to actually leave behind. And then you'll just understand your sense of self. But understand, Life Path 11, you are very, very important. And I'm going to illustrate that with you know, the famous Life Path 11s. I have two for you this time, because guess what? Barack Obama and Michelle Obama were both Life Path 11s. Now, I'm not really in the spirit of politics. Politics and I were not really friends. But I will say this. You cannot help but, you could not help but notice these two people. First of all, Barack Obama was the first black president of the United States. Happens to be 44th as well, so that was kind of fun for numerology. Anyway, and you cannot deny that his presence was actually kind of cool to watch. Like, you can't help, like, even if you don't dabble into politics or don't care about what he said, you couldn't help but be charmed by this man. You just couldn't help it. There were certain things that he had about him, his demeanor, the way he was, the way he spoke, his mannerisms, just like him going to Jamaica and saying Wagwan Jamaica and everybody going crazy.
Greetings, massive. Hey. Wagwan Jamaica.
They were probably one of the most liked first families, if I'm being honest. So let's think about it. Like, when you're the president, you have to go through loads of presidential campaigns. You have to talk about the people as a whole. You have to think about laws. You have to think about, like, what else to do. You're gonna be in the limelight. You have to show up for the people. And this is basically what it means to be a Life Path 11. Showing up for the people. But when you show up for the people, don't forget to spiritually protect yourself. Don't forget to listen. Don't forget to check your ego at the door. And don't forget that everything that you do creatively or in service is something that is meant to be. Don't beat yourself up for the position that you are in right now. What you're doing generally on an everyday basis is something that is going to be recognized in the future. Whether it is on a global scale, or whether it is around your community, or whether that is around your family, or whatever it is, it's going to be recognized. So don't doubt yourself and put yourself forward. Work on your anxiety, because you have tons of it. And nobody wants anxiety. Remember how powerful you are. Life Path 11s. You guys are very special people. I'm gonna leave it there. My name is TishaTheBrave. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Don't forget, I also have services that I'm going to put right here. If you're interested, email me at TishaTheBrave@gmail.com, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!